Hello everybody, and welcome to this guide for Once Upon a Time in Gielinor, Runescape's latest quest. I'm going to be talking you through everything you need in order to complete the 4 mini-quests, which make up this quest and earn your very own golden Partyhat shard. There will be timestamps in the description, so if you've already done any of the mini-quests which have previously been released, do feel free to skip ahead to the ones you need. I'm going to kick things off with the first of 3 mini-quests, Foreshadowing. And this will start in true Tolkien-esque fashion with a somewhat unexpected party. Head over to the Blue Moon Inn in Varrock and have a chat to Rolomir, who has gathered with a few old faces from some previous quests, or potentially future quests if you haven't done them yet, but never mind, and she is apparently throwing a party to celebrate your heroic deeds. You will foolishly do exactly what she suggests, and in an entirely expected turn of events, this will not go well for you. Rolomir does some sneaky magic to make the two of you switch places, and suddenly we're all celebrating her heroic deeds. She does quite a bad job of telling the stories, and you can choose the correct input to correct her. It's pretty obvious which one to pick, as long as you have some vague idea of what the previous quests were about. But just in case you need it, the answers are a wooden stake, it wasn't called Blacklight, and Alvarg only had one head. Once you've corrected her on all 3, people will start believing that you are in fact yourself rather than Rolomir, and she will get very cross and apparently kill you, because that's a thing, and you'll end up in Death's office. And after a bit of back and forth with Death, he will work out who you are, and you head through the door on your right, his left, to have a chat with Closure. Closure, however, won't talk to you because there's a few people that are ahead of you in the queue. Once again, familiar faces from some old quests, and so you have to get them to give up their spot in the line before Closure will help you. With, to be fair, quite a good explanation from him about why there are figures appearing from quests you haven't completed yet. They might be in your future. I like it. Count Draenor will want you to go and turn off the range that is in Draenor Manor, which he's apparently left on, because, of course, Dareth wants you to banish him, which conveniently you can do just here by saying the words in the correct order, and he'll be banished, and that's all you have to do. And then, finally, chatting to Alvarg, who, understandably, not particularly impressed with you, but will want you to go and retrieve her treasure hoard for her, which is chilling in the Grand Exchange, because, of course. Anyway, we will head out of Closure's office. The first one we're going to deal with is the range, which you'll find in the northwest corner of the ground floor of Draenor Manor. We'll then head up to the Grand Exchange and have a chat to one of the bankers there, who will happily hand over the contents of Alvarg's bank. You can have a peek in it if you like. It is apparently worth billions. And finally, head back to Closure's study. Spoiler alert, you're going to spend a lot of time travelling in and out of here over the next few quests. A good option to get here is the Ward Shriek Telly, where you can just head straight into Death's office from the portal, or alternatively use the Draenor Lodestone and head into the Hourglass from there. Anyway, Alvarg will be still mildly annoyed at you, but will let you in, as will Count Draenor, and you can head through and have a chat to Closure. He will undo Rolomir's little switcheroo, but we still need to go and find her before everything will be resolved properly and get her to sign a contract. Wear the hat again to disguise yourself and head back to the Blue Moon Inn in Varrock, have a chat to Rolomir and pretend to be a huge fan of Grey Rusty, which of course, we are. And once you get her autograph on the contract, the two of you will be switched back and the quest will be complete, and Rolomir's evil deed stopped for the time being, and we can head back to Closure to finish the quest. Grab yourself a nice little XP reward, 1 down, 2 to go, and you can talk to Closure again to immediately start the next quest. Rolomir is wreaking havoc again, and this time she's doing so by meddling with some of the other events in your past. She has found some of Closure's biographies, and she is changing the record of what happened. We get to watch a nice little cutscene of Closure and Rolomir having a chat, and we'll see that Rolomir took the books and went off to a pub. If we check the Blue Moon Inn, you'll see that she isn't there, and has headed off to the Jolly Boar Inn, which is the one by the northeast of Varrock. A good option for getting there is the Earth Altar teleport if you've got that on your Wicked Hood. and we'll find Rolomia at the bar, and after a bit of persuasion, be able to get the biographies off her and head back to Closure. And Closure, once he's seen the damage that has been done, will suggest we hop into the memories of the relevant events to try and restore things, so that he can rewrite those sections of the books. In each one, we'll get to watch an amusing little cutscene of the memory going completely wrong, and then there are 3 details we'll have to change to restore it to the correct state of affairs. In the first one, for Ava, you need to interact with yourself to remind yourself that you're giving undead chickens to Ava rather than an undead cow. You need to interact with the lever on the wall to change it to a lever rather than lever B, and investigate the spooky clock on the far side to change it into a wardrobe, matching the one next to it. And once you've done all of those, if you play the memory, you should see everything proceeding correctly. For the second one, we are on the rooftops with Ozan on one of our little excursions about Alcarit. And if you have a chat to yourself and Ozan, you want you to jump first, Ozan to jump second, and then head through the portal to the bottom to change the empty cart into one that is full of straw, so you have something to land on. And once again, if you play the memory, you should see everything proceeding correctly. And finally, we are revisiting our experience of freeing Merlin. Interact with the shield on the wall to change it to the normal wall shield. With yourself, to tell yourself to use Excalibur rather than a cannon to break the crystal. And finally, interact with the crystal until you get the one with Merlin himself in it, rather than backwards Merlin or the wise old man. With all 3 memories restored, have a chat to the 3 characters and they will head off, and you can once again talk to Closure to finish the quest, getting yourself another shiny cosmetic override, another medium XP lamp, and one step closer to that golden Partyhat shard. And finally, talk to Closure once again to start the 3rd mini-quest, Fortunes. You'll have a bit of a chat with Closure about Rolomia, and the 2 of you will come to the conclusion that maybe what Rolomia needs is the chance to prove herself as a hero. And so you're going to give her that by setting up a mini-quest for her, as you have done previously for a couple of other want-to-be adventurers. First of all, you need to find someone who will give Rolomia the quest. Closure will summon a few potential candidates, but none of them want to help you, despite us having, done quite a lot to help them in the past. Little bit rude, but oh well, we'll roll with it. After you've sent them all away, Death will appear to work out what's happening, and if you ask him very nicely, by correctly reminding him of how you helped him in the past, or again, the future, if you haven't done that yet, he will agree to be the quest giver for you. The next step is to set up some enemies for Rolomia to sneak past. If you head into the wheat field to the south, you will see there are 3 spooky scarecrows scattered around it. So grab the 3 of them and head into the woods, and you'll see there are 3 of these little wooden markers around. Place a scarecrow on each one, and then head back to Closure. You next need to place something for Rolomia to retrieve. Death will give you a confiscated sword, and head to the back behind the 3rd scarecrow you placed, and place the sword on the marker there. Not sure why you couldn't have taken that with the set of scarecrows to avoid you running in and out of Closure's office, but oh well. With that done, we need to go off and find Rolomia. If you have a chat to the bartenders at the Blue Moon and Jolly Boar, you'll work out that she isn't there, and she is in fact in the 3rd pub in Varrock, which is in the little area to the southeast over here. Have a quick chat to her, and she will happily agree to help you out with your quest, and then head back once more to Closure's study to have a chat to Closure and get started. The 2 of you will head through the woods. If you chat to Rolomia next to each scarecrow, she will, unsurprisingly, not be particularly scared by them, and will blast them into pieces with her wand, as Closure dramatically narrates for you. Once Rolomia grabs the wand, you will start speaking in catchphrases, grab the wand from her, and suddenly reveal that you are in fact the villain of this quest, and Rolomia has to defeat you in a great and epic final battle. You can damage Rolomia if you like. Doesn't make a difference, she will just heal herself, and eventually she will kill you. And with that, Rolomia has completed her quest. She gets a nice reward from Death and Closure, and for the time being is on the path to redemption. Or is she? We'll find out. And anyway, you will find yourself back in Closure's study, and have a chat to him to once again complete the mini-quest. And finally we get to Finale, the fourth and final mini-quest in this series. Once again we kick things off by chatting to Closure in his office, and after a brief discussion with him, Rolomia will appear, and we'll learn that this is in fact future Rolomia, who, despite apparently having turned things around after our engagements with her over the last few quests, is now getting herself into difficulties with some future events, and we're going to dive into her memories to try and help her out and save some of our friends. And throughout the 3 scenarios we'll get some very exciting hints about what may or may not be potential future RuneScape content. Anyway, jumping in to the first scenario here, we're going to go and have a chat to Meg and jump into a memory of a time that Meg, along with a few of her companions, is trying to sneak into the Black Knight's fortress. The way these memories work is very simple. In each one there are 4 different characters and 4 different jobs that need doing, and you need to assign each character to the job that most appropriately matches their skill set. In this one we're going to send Eva Kashin to be captured in advance and break into the fortress that way, because she's a White Knight and will of course be happily captured by the Black Knight guards. We're going to send Bosun Higgs to infiltrate via the rooftop, because she, having previously been a Black Knight, knows her way around the fortress. Meg is going to have the role of sneaking in the front entrance in true Black Knight guard disguise with the iron chain body and bronze helmet. And finally, the Raptor is going to be stationed on the bridge to delay any reinforcements by being very, very big and intimidating. Once you've assigned all 4, go ahead and talk to Rolomia to play the memory, and you'll see the 4 different interactions playing out, followed by a brief cutscene of Eva, Bosun Higgs and Meg in the centre of the Black Knight's fortress, foiling whatever it was they broke in there to foil. Spoilers. Heading back into Closure's office, have a chat with Meg to round off that story, and then next we're going to have a chat with Philip Carnelian, the adventurer in training who we helped out in a couple of quests, and if you've been doing May's Quest Caravan, you'll have been hunting down to get experience lamps from him. Once again, we've got 4 different tasks that need doing, and 4 characters to do it. We're going to assign Philip to work out the gate controls. Ziliana, with her Saradominist abilities, is going to be defending him. Nymora, with her combat abilities, is going to be trying to push the Inquisitor back through the gate, and Oreb, having previously been a Magister of Terrorguard himself, is going to be trying to distract the Bright Inquisitor while all this happens. And once again, once you've assigned all 4, go ahead and give the memory a play, and you'll see the Bright Inquisitor being successfully defeated. Back in Closure's office, have a quick chat to Philip to round that off, and then head over to Cami for the 3rd and final scenario. For this scenario, we will find ourselves out in the Eastern Isles with a group of adventurers including the Memory, the Exile and the Tengu, who you'll recognise if you've been doing your Ports story missions, who are all trying to defeat the Tiger's Claw. And in this scenario, we want Honovi assigned to the puzzle in the centre, so that she can move the very large and heavy orbs around. We want Cami, with her understanding of Adama, to be the one going through the big door to meet with the island spirits. We want Sojobo, deciphering the symbols over on the east side of the island, with all the knowledge he has through the teachings of the Goo. And finally, Fragi the Lion is going to be assigned to the remaining task of fending off the Tiger's Claw. Once again, with all 4 in place, play the memory, and you'll see the 4 carrying out their various roles, and then you'll find yourself back in Closure's office. Have chats to Cami to wrap up that scenario, and then head back through to Closure himself, and have a chat to him and Rolomia to finish the quest. And with the 4th mini-quest done, you will get yourself a golden Partyhat shard, one of 8 that you'll need to make the Partyhat. And on that note, I'm going to leave the video there so I can go and start hunting some of the others. I hope you found this guide helpful, and good luck with your hunt for the remaining shards. See you for the next video.